Well, it was supposed to be a neutral umpire that would bring order to the industrial battlegrounds of Australia's building sites. But in the eyes of the unions, the Australian Building and Construction Commission was a tool to attack workers' rights. Labor promised to abolish it. Now a bill to do just that is before Parliament. But supporters of the Commission say its demise may signal a return to industrial lawlessness. Hamish Fitzsimmons reports.
The ABCC came into being almost 7 years ago, after the Coal Royal Commission in 2003 found there was illegal behaviour in the building and construction sector.
The overwhelming evidence is that the Australian Building and Construction Commission has overseen a decrease in lawlessness in the building and construction sector.
The opposition says the Commission has paid for itself in terms of productivity.
It has seen a dividend of $5.9 billion worth of savings. It has reduced the inflation rate, and every economic indicator suggests that the building and construction sector is now coming back into line with the rest of the workforce in relation to days lost, etc.
When Labor was elected in 2007, it promised to abolish the ABCC. Its legislation before the Parliament will see the Commission replaced with a new regulatory body, working within Fair Work Australia, that has lesser powers. Labor says the ABCC was built on a biased premise.
It was anti-union, it was not about improving productivity, it was not about improving safety, it was not about improving industrial relations, it was a blunt industrial instrument against workers in this country.
The opposition and business have their own theories about why Labor wants to kill off the ABCC. John Lloyd was its first commissioner and is now a fellow at the free market think tank, the Institute of Public Affairs.
The CFMEU from the very days of the ABCC opposed it, wanted the body abolished, and they've pressed for that ever since. So it's really a payback to the unions.
He is a lifelong supporter of work choices and those sorts of laws, and you'd only expect him to say those things.
The construction union claims the ABCC was part of the Howard government's work choices policy, that it has little oversight and has been one-sided in its focus on unions.
The ABCC is supposed to look into issues where employers rip off workers' entitlements, where employers engage in sham contracting, and where employers do the wrong thing. But the ABCC doesn't do those things at all.
John Lloyd says the Commission was effective in moderating the worst conduct of unions and employers.
We stood up for small subcontractors and their employees who are often caught in a vice between the unions and compliant head contractors.
The new regulator will retain one of the ABCC's most controversial tools, coercive powers, which can see uncooperative people jailed, but penalties for breaches of the Act will be cut by 2/3.
And this is particularly disturbing as the courts were starting to increase the penalties closer to the maximums, and now those penalties will be reduced quite significantly in future cases.
The Greens have indicated their general support for the bill, so its passage through the Senate should be assured. Hamish Fitzsimmons, Lateline.